He gets excited. Hi, everybody. It's Friday. It's Friday. And you know what that means? Yesterday was Thursday. Tomorrow's the future. Okay, so hi. Yeah, I posted today's page. Today's page was silly. And what made it so silly is it's silly suggestion that I went with. And full honesty here. There's some beats coming up. The suggestion from Jose Cabrera, hi Jose, is a virtual phlegm ball that lost its way to reality and forgot its lunch money. I never mentioned the lunch money in the page. I'm really mad at myself. I figure that's what makes him so hangry. Is that he hasn't got any money for lunch and he's woken up as a pile of yuck in another reality. That's my justification. Not much of one. Anyways, it was a fun page to do. All right, let's go through some of the jazzy stuff. We've got some sponsors for this here thing we call a shoe. Our first sponsor is Bob's House of Fish. When you stay open late for the halibut, come on down and reel in yourself a bite. Bob's House of Fish, 201 Dundas Street, beautiful downtown London. And our second sponsor is Fake Explosion. Fake bands, real music. You think you know music, you know nothing. Lately, Fake Explosion is featuring the release of the album by Jose Cabrera. Everybody wants to get it. It's Constipation. Go on down and get yourself a copy. All right, that's exciting. Okay, so we got our sponsors all out of the way there, and I feel pretty lucky having sponsors. So today's page. So yesterday I started. Oh, let me do this part. Yesterday I started with the doodly doing of this here, and I just drew it all out in pencil. This pencil, his name's Dave, on a piece of heavy grade cardstock. And then we scanned it in the old Scanner-Rooney, official term, and put it in there and got funky with the Digitali. So, there we go. Okay. So it feels good. It's been a good week. Yesterday's page. I've had a rough week, but I'm back. I'm back in the saddle again. Yesterday's page was, Grandma. Actually, it's called Cause and Effect, and then the page before that is, hey, bikers. And then what's it worth? Very different pages this week. And I end with, oh, kitty. So, I don't know. I don't know myself sometimes. But I'm pretty pleased with, kitty. It worked out pretty well. Hey, we got some things here. Let me catch up. Shout to the sponsors. Got a shout out to the sponsors. Love the virtual phlegm ball. This is kind of a gross page on some levels. Hiya Didi, hiya Rachel, hi anybody else that's joined us. Feel free to join in. Feel free to shout out. Feel free even just to say, I'm a lurker. I'm lurking on you. Lurking. Yeah. So, yeah, this page was fun. It's just generally fun. But there's three kind of different things that are happening here. One is cute kitty, right? Doing cat stuff. And then another one is, the weird sci-fi Captain Kirk phlegm. Which is not the... So somebody suggested yesterday, you should send that to William Shatner. Maybe not. Maybe not. And then there's the husband. Honey, looks like the cat threw up. So there's a sort of a statement there. What is this? Didi says, I need to show Christopher how to really cough up a fur ball. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Christopher, glad you are yourself again. When was the last time you heard that? I don't think I ever have. It's not true. Grade 5. Okay. I had a slight sniffle the day before it. Overly sympathetic and supportive teacher. And the day that I came back with the sniffle gone, she said, I'm glad to see that your sniffle's gone. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Philip Chandler. Okay. So yeah, so Aw Kitty is fun. This is the bait and switch, right? Aw Kitty. And then the next hung up. Horrible. I'm a horrible. All right, today's page. We've got a couple that we've got ahead of us. Which paper? What does that mean, Chris? Just a piece of paper. All right, so yeah, we're gonna check this. Ding, 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 ding. Anyways, so that brings us up to, yeah, we're getting pretty caught up in this here book, he says, and then he looks at this page. There was a lot of stuff being thrown around yesterday with our, where do you think it was? Science will be in 500 years suggestion from Jim Luan. So there's one of the ones that I like is scientists will discover the gnome genome. I don't remember who said that. I didn't get it written down. Dee Dee just asks, is that what the fox says? That's what this fox says. I don't know. If anybody knows who wrote Scientists Will Discover the Gnome Genome, that would help. I can put their name on that. Science takes a vacation to Peru in 500 years. That's another one I didn't get the name written down for. Scientists will try to convince people that rocks are interesting in 500 years' time. That's another interesting one. So yeah, so we've got this. There's a couple other suggestions. Ring a ding a ling. Yeah, I thought a couple of these were funny. I can't read my own writing. Jeez Louise. Well, my handwriting wasn't all that great yesterday, to be honest. Science will figure out the Luhan verse in 500 years. So that was a fun suggestion from the Kremlinator. But what it made me think of was more so that science in the future will celebrate the Luhan universe as though it's Proverbs. So that's what my brain did with that immediately. And what the fox says, am I the only one who gets that? Anybody? Anyone? Bueller? Ding 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 ding. No, I get you. I get you, Dee. I get you, Dee. Earth flooded with Earthian gene creatures. Science decided will be. Good Lord. Yesterday was not a great day for note writing for me. Let's just say that. Thanks, Bueller. Bueller. Anyone? Bueller. Yeah. It's one of my favorite moments. I used to watch this television show. Ben Stein had a game show that I used to watch. People are trying to take my money. It's really funny. Okay, so one of the things I'd considered was the Kremlin overtaking the world. The Kremlinator, the leader of the secret Kremlin society. There's just Josh went to an event and they introduced him as Joshua Kremble at this event. It was here in Canada, and he just thought that was so Kremble. He never had. I don't think he said. I think he'd said he never had anybody say Kremble before, but this is now. I call him the Kremlinator. I don't know why. I can't explain myself half the time. 75%, and but now it's turned into this whole Kremble. We've all just started run with this, a whole bunch of people, and I like the idea of the Kremlin overtaking the world, run by the Kremlinator. I think that sounds to me like a fun one. And the fact that he suggested it himself, in my mind, says free reign. So I don't know. Huh? Yeah, give a monkey a brain and he'll think he's the center of the universe. That's how it applies to this guy. Not to Joshua, to me. Yeah. Oh, I can use all my thinkings? Oh, too much thinking. All right, so I think I might do that today unless anybody else has another choice. Because I'm open. I don't have anything prepared for the Kremlinator thing, so. Earth flooded with dinosaurs. Yeah, I have no idea what I wrote. That's really going to aggravate me for the day. As in Kremlin. Yeah, that works too. See, I was going with Kremlin. I was going with Kremlin on that one. So I was thinking about doing that and doing a real propaganda conspiracy theory thing with it. I don't know. Anybody? Bueller? Yeah. Also, I forgot to get 3 prompts this week from Diddy, so I'll have to do that on Monday. See, rocks, scientists trying to convince people that rocks are interesting in 500 years is a great one too. So yeah, lots to thinking about, huh? Anybody want to vote? Anybody want to vote on which one? Rocks or Kremlin? Rocks or Kremlin? Rocks, Kremlin. Hands up. Let's count them. Hands up. Okay. All right. This white blank piece of paper is just staring me down. Come on, Chris. We dare you to make a mark on us. Don't make a mistake, Chris. Your race ain't gonna save you from everything. Didi says rock, paper, scissors. It sounds like a vote for rock to me. Scientists will try to convince people that rocks are interesting in 500 years. Cut and paste. See what you did? We could do a whole series of 500 years from now. I think that's how I'm going to start this page. And if I do any more, if I do more of these 500 years from now, from the suggestions that came from yesterday, I think I'll start every page with 500 years from now. So. Uh-oh. Didi's pulling 3 prompts. Thank you, please. Yeah. And Rachel would like 3 as well. Did someone say cat? A meow. All right, Jim's here. Hey, Jim. Howdy. Here's yesterday's page for those that are just catching up. And I already did my sponsor announcements. 500 years from now, scientists will try to convince people that rocks are interesting. So I'm going to have some fun with this. Because there's a couple cut and paste. I'm just writing down today's page. Wink. Okay, so there's yesterday. So there's the page we posted today. It's a kitty. All right, let's get to work. So, yeah, today's 500 years from now. It's the first of one of those. So that'll go right here, top corner. 500 years from now. Gonna be in a little floaty panel. Okay, I gotta write these down now. For Christopher, rat. Yeah, daddy rat. Oyster. Never had one. Edvard Munch. That kind of a suggestion just makes me want to scream. Thank you very much. Thank you. Try the veal. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Thank you for that, Didi. I think Rachel wants 3. Okay, so we're going with Cyclops Ginkgon Topaz. That is your new military call signal there, Rachel. Cyclops, ginkgon, topaz. Come in. Cyclops, ginkgon, topaz. That's your secret code you got to enter to stop the missiles from launching. Dude, you only need to pull things like that from now on. All right. So scientists will try to convince people that rocks are interesting in 500 years. All right. All right, Jim, I gotta better write this down before I lose it. I'm gonna write it down in legible handwriting, guys. 2 Victorian people debating whether or not they should kiss. But here's the catch. But wait. Draw it left-handed. Okay, slow yourself. Draw it left-handed. You crazy. Better write your name down on so we see who's guilty for this one. Yeah, so I like the idea of the 500. It's in the book. I like the idea. Thank you, Jim. I like the idea of in 500 years to do a number of those. And that might be fun to insert some of those in there. Well, thank you. All right. So, okay, where are we? We're doing 500 years. Scientists will try to convince people that rocks are interesting. All right. So I'm going to get a little bit spacey. So here's what I do. This is how I use reference, just for those that are anybody that's interested in that. If I get something like this, scientists try to convince people that rocks are interesting, I'll just look up scientist, right? I can't sit here and I'll just flick through all the pictures that come up and just pick random elements, because anything more than that becomes heavily relying on source. So that tends to be how I do stuff. If I find an image of a person that I like, I'll utilize that image once, and I got a timer sort of set on my tablet that's facing, rather it's a Kindle that's facing me, and unless Kindle wants to give me a sponsorship. So eventually it turns off. So, I'm not sitting here and looking at every part. So what just changed? Rat. Screaming oyster? It's not Edvard Munch? Because Edvard Munch did an awful lot more than just the scream. So is this the 3 prompts? Have I got to, so check out Munch? Screaming. Because that changes the whole game. Either way, I was going to have an oyster doing the Munch painting. So, hey everybody, it's Mr. Paul Pate. Where'd he go? There he is. Hi, Paul. Welcome aboard. Munch is still it. Yeah, no, I was going to do the oyster. I was going to have incorporate the oyster or the rat into the Munch painting, or different iterations of the scream over time. Okay, Munch is still in there. Okay, good stuff. I'm just throwing out a pearl of wisdom. Christopher, you do you. Yeah. All right. The Munch is still it. So we've got scientists will try to convince people that rocks are interesting in 500 years. So so an idea that I want to present is I want to start off with, and this page is, I've gone to the full size 11 by 17 here. And why is that, Chris? Boy, am I glad you asked me. The idea behind that is that a lot of my doing pages on smaller cardstock and then putting them together is, you've got pages with just a bunch of random drawings on it as opposed to a structured page. And the last I realized doing my full Batman page that, you know, I kind of like having structured pages sometimes. So I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff. Has Paul received a Polly? Not yet. I got to load a Polly up. We've been missing you, Paul. We've been, hold on. I'll load it up. Just give me a second. Can I load it up? Yeah, just give a sec. Hopefully this isn't going to screw things up doing this live. There it is. It's a Polly. This is the Polly. If people do really good, Paul, they get a Polly. You've been missed by people, so I had to fill you in. The Paul Pate Polly. And if they're bad, Paul, if they're not behaving, they get one of these. Hey now. Huh? That's Dad talking to him over the paper. Yeah. You've been missed, Paul. Everyone gets a little silly at Christopher's house. Welcome back, Paul. Hope you ate okay. Oh my gosh. Oh no, I prefer 8, Dee Dee. I prefer 8. First one's free, but there's a ghost. But here, there's a ghost. Forget you. Keep coming back for more. Oh, sheesh. Paul, there are people that have legitimately missed you. And I got to keep the people happy. And if that means, you know, we got to have a Paulie, I think it'd be better if you just came and hung out on a stream one day. But I don't know if people are prepared for that much bull. We'd have to figure it out on a day and a time because you're at work during the days here. I get it. You're playing hooky right now. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so I have been doing a couple things. I've been waiting for, my voice tends to disappear when I'm not feeling good. So I'm just waiting for that to come back and get the scratch out of it so that I can do a couple things. I'm really honored to be able to record something for Mr. Jim Lujan for The Full Fungus. Yeah. Jim always eats well. Siri mangled your comment. Okay, I'm glad to hear that because I couldn't make any sense of that comment. All right. Take 2. That's how Chris gets you. The first one's free, and then you'll come back for more. Okay, yeah. All right. Makes more sense. Note to self, Jim's figured us out. Rochambeau. Huh? Tuck, duck, and roll. Come back at this later. All right, so there's the first 3 little panels, and my intention with the 3 little panels is to have a scientist presenting the idea of the rocks. And then I'm going to have a big field of rocks kicking in here in a second. And so the whole idea is, you know, the scientist is just trying to whip up a furor of excitement. So, Auto Club. All right. All right. So I'm going to do Silly Scientist. I don't know about one of my favorite things when I was a kid, and I hope that you got to see this in the States. But one of my favorite things when I was a kid is Professor Gordon Sumner Mills was a scientist, a real legitimate science teacher that was a character on a show at a Kitchener called The Hilarious House of Frightenstein. He's the only normal in the whole thing. Everybody else is outlandish and nutty. Many of this characters played by Billy Van, but then he has a legitimate science teacher come on and do science experiments in the laboratory of the haunted castle of Frightenstein. If you haven't seen Hilarious House of Frightenstein, please watch it. because, you know, one of my favorite characters in existence is Griselda the Gourmet. She's just one of my favorite characters, and it's Griselda the Gourmet is played by Billy Van, the same actor that plays a lot of the other characters, but is seriously just one of the sexiest characters in comedy. Jim says Jose is on a train, but he's going to go back and watch yesterday's episode. Cool beans. That's cool. All right, so yeah, let's start with our science guy. See, I did this thing already. As much as I plot out how I want a page to go, the problem that I have with putting boxes down immediately is I hate them the moment I draw them. If Jose is on a train headed north going 80 miles per hour, and Paul is on a train headed south going 78 miles per hour, neither of them are ever going to contact each other. Well, that's if they start at the same location, right? Okay, so here's Chris's perplexing problem of the day. So at this point, I'm about to put something on Webtoons. That's my next forage out into the world. Foray. I'm going to be putting Stream of Conceitedness Volume 1 on Webtoons for people to enjoy, hopefully. And my style has changed so drastically just in the time that I've done Stream of Conceitedness 1 to now, that the great debate starts becoming in my head just before it's released. Do I stop calling it Volume 1, Volume 2, and just allow Stream of Conceitedness to be its thing in and of itself, and take what I've done for Volume 2 and let it be something else? Because I've already started. I can't stop messing with the pages. I got a problem. So I'm debating on how to go about things, but I've got the entirety of Volume 1. It's ready to rock. Or do I just lean into it and realize that, hey, life and art has changed. Anybody that knows that that's for a Barbie, you gotta respect that a little bit more. You should be proud. You should be proud, Didi. How else is he going to jump down from the ceiling and say, hello there? All right, so putting our, can you see? Okay, so I'm putting the scientist in, and playing with the idea of, I want to give them mental hair, right? It's always fun when you give them the crazy hair. Yes, I am. Kind of messes up your idea a little bit, but I used to be fully ambidextrous, and then now I lean right. So, because when I had my first seizure and I had to relearn to do a bunch of things, the physiotherapist I had predominantly had me doing things with my right hand, but there's still other things that I do with my left hand. Here's the thing: I eat with my left hand, and no make no sense. I drive with my left hand, right? Predominantly left hand. I don't know. It's funny how that's how we get up to things, right? I think everybody does things with two hands, but but I used to write with my left. And now my handwriting is horrible. I blame the sea. Lately, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but lately I really like giving people big ears. Dee Dee says no. You know, oh, that's excellent, Dee Dee. Yeah. Okay, so here's our first crazy scientist. So this is similar to the idea that I had for, I did a crazy scientist page recently, and I think I'm actually channeling the same guy right now. I got to check this. The Elvis page. Does anybody remember the Elvis page that I did recently? This is it. I'll pull it up. So this is I am drawing the same guy. I've changed his glasses a little bit, but I immediately started drawing the same scientist again. Why not? Let's just keep going with that. So there's my my mad scientist character. This is where he Dr. Corbell Johansson. So yeah, this is where he resurrects Elvis and then dresses as Priscilla for them to go to a Christmas party. It'll make a lot of sense. All right. Paul says, I have some real bad tremors in my left hand. I've drawn some pictures in my left. It was so hard. The pictures are hilariously bad. Lots of Canadians that are ambidextrous. You can hold a beer with either hand. Either hand? Why don't you do both there, bud? Come on now. Oh, Canada. It's not true. We're using one thing to cook the back bacon. The other one's got the beer. But every Canadian can open a beer with one finger. Huh? One-handed beer openers. That's this entire country. If it's not beer, it's cans of pop. All right, so I'm gonna do our Dr. Corbell Johansson character again because he's fun. But I'm gonna change this. You know, I'm drawing his eyes in as opposed to no eyes on the last one. I've changed his glasses prescription. Speaking of which, I got new glasses tomorrow. Very excited. I look forward to seeing you all. I have not really the ability to drive right now at night because I have my sunglasses are prescription. And so I can drive in the daytime with my sunglasses on. But if it's nighttime, nope. All right, so let's put his hands in here. I like to make characters animated with their hands, a lot of hand movements. And the reason for that is that it gives a little bit more, because we talk with our hands so much as wiggle and waggle and monkeys, it's fun to continue to carry that forward. So it helps us connect a little bit more. Paul looks forward to seeing me too. All right, so here's our first scientist image, and then now it's just a case of I'll fill in the bits and bobs of them in a second, but let's have them hold. We'll have them holding a doodad. Doodads are always fun. That's an official scientific term. Doodad. All right, so, and then here's something that I picked up from a book that I read for years when I was a kid. Is that they presented screens as little holographic images that could free float above a device. And that's, instead of having paper, instead of having tablets or anything like that, you got this little device that sits in your hand and up it comes. Woo! I don't think I'm great at left or right batting. See, that's definitely an ambidextrous thing. If you can switch hit, that's definitely an ambidextrous thing. So, all right, so let's put, let's do our next panel with our scientist. But let's get that crazy back. Yeah, we're bringing crazy back. Okay, so my screen's going to turn off any second now with my my guy. So let's just have some fun with him. So one of the things that I try to consider is like I've given him a really pronounced bridge on his nose. So I want to carry that forward, right? Let's have fun. Real professional scientist here. It's important. I can play the piano left-handed just as well as I can right-handed. Come on, Paul. Come on. Where are you going with that? Can you switch it? I can switch it. The scientist is perfect. Actually looks like a futurologist. I know. Well, there we go. Thanks, Kat. Okay, so he's sticking his tongue up. Why? Because it's my page. All right, so I'm worried right now mostly about the expressions and the presentation of the panel. The reason that I haven't finished this whole thing and I've moved on is that I got the key points of he's clicking up something as he's talking about it. And in the next panel, it's going to be him doing something outlandish. And, just to carry on with how erratic this science characters are, because, as I like to put on every page with a scientist on it, I like to have them always shout, "Science!" Just because that's, in my mind, what scientists do. And if anybody here's a scientist, come on, you've done it at least once. How many geologists do you know? I know 0. All right, so let's get. So I'm thinking about the fingers when I'm doing this. When we hold something, I will hold it in this way. So I'm thinking about how, whatever the object is, how our fingers will pinch something, and then how our thumb comes over top. And so this is Christopher's magical way of drawing hands badly. But, it works to some extent. So you're going to see a million better ways in which to draw hands. Recently, I had somebody help me out by sending me a photo of how to draw hands. And I'm always going to appreciate that. Here I was thinking I'm doing my best on a stream. And they said, "Do you want to learn how to draw hands? Let me show you how to draw hands." And they sent me one of the best pictures. They said, here's a way to draw hands. And they sent this. And I got to tell you, I have never had such a helping hand drawing lesson in my life. When I wanted to respond to it, I just wanted to respond to it I can't find it. Well, that joke would have been perfect. I want to respond to it with joy. That's Rachel left. Hey! Here's some left-handed art. We're going to get this up. Okay. Left-handed art, Victorian, should we kiss? 10-year anniversary kiss? Oh. There you go. Jim, there's your first one. Rachel has sent me the first one to put up. If anybody else wants to do that, send me your suggestion from Jim today, which was 2 Victorian people debating whether or not they should kiss, and to draw it left-handed. All right, which is fine if you're left-handed. You're completely good. But there's Rachel's. Thank you for sending that across, Rachel. Okay, so I'm going to have the page here because he's aimed the doodad up above. I'm going to have the page going with him as he's moving his hands around. Where are we at? Paul says, how many geologists do you know? I know 0. Jim says about 70 or 80. Give or take 70 or 80. It could be 10. Paul would like to meet a geologist. Quite a few. Kat's met quite a few, actually, and they all have crazy hair. Like they just crawled out from under a rock. We know what you did there. We know what you did, Kat. That was a good one. Jim has sent one across now. Here we go. Here comes Jim's. This is Jim's left-handed drawing of what's it again? This is 2 Victorian people debating whether or not they should kiss by Jim Lujan. Gauntlet thrown. Paul dialed into the under a rock. Good stuff, guys. Okay, so now I want to put his second hand. I'll tuck the fingers under here. One, two, three. How many fingers does a human hand have? 11. There's his eureka moment. So I don't know anybody outside of our conversation here would look at the page that I did and posted today. And I don't know how many other people are going to connect to it being Captain Kirk. If you want, here's a fun game. If you look at the hashtags that I put on the last few pages this week, there's some of the most ridiculous hashtags I've ever put down. Today's is a combination of kitty, cat, cats, kitties, vomit. It's pretty bad. Cass counting how many geologists she knows, I think. Well, Paul's going back to work. Farewell, Paul. Have yourself a good day, buddy. That's a great picture he sent me. It's a really nice picture of him. All right, so there's our thumb sticking out. Bye, Paulie. Be attentive at work. Is Paul going to work left-handed or right-handed? No one will know. Okay, so here's our next shot of our scientist. I'm just having him be more and more erratic as he goes. So the idea of him being the least sensible but overly enthused guy about rocks is a fun notion to me. Now, Yam asked how many fingers on a hand. I know Didi has 4 hands. Multiple bracelets and multiple outfits to put them in. Okay, so switch the direction of this eye a little bit. All right. So today the grandkids are going to get to open their stamp envelopes because I've kept theirs ready for them for when they get here. And I told Lily about it, and she was quite looking forward to it. So I'm kind of excited about that. Scott Walter from a history channel. Oh, that's cool. He's a geologist. I didn't know who Scott Walter was. I got to be honest. That's awesome. With the brothers that are digging at Oak Island, do they have any certification as geologists? Or do they have to hire some? You can make these eyes a little bit crazier. I was not ambidextrous before the Victorian one-pager. Oh, yeah, now. I like both of the submissions today. It's mine's going to look similar to Jim's in all honesty because I don't have the ambidextrousness at all anymore. Didi just said, "Let me know. Let you." What did I say and forget immediately after I said it? I am a ding dong today. My firing isn't 100%, so that's why I line the kids up. Oh, let you know when the kids are going to open their things. I think we might do it either tonight or tomorrow morning. We're going to do a little video of it. Yeah, Lily was looking forward to it. Jay's like, okay. But he's like that about everything. Grandpa, do you want to play the Wii? Yeah. Other than that, apathy. Okay, so I'm going for the crazy. So when the sides of the mouth come up, the cheek squishes up a little bit. We got some fine little values in there. Let's get that tongue stuck out. How's that? Nothing says science like sticking your tongue out because you're thinking so hard. Oh, the brothers. I'm so sorry. Not that I know of. They have geological help. They own a winery in Michigan. A winery in Michigan and a hole in Nova Scotia. The more I follow these streams, the more I understand, not sure what, but I know that I know what I know. You know? Maybe that is Minnesota. I can't remember. Ironically, Gordon Lightfoot had a really heavy foot when he drove. Well, you better take care of that. Yeah, everybody likes to drive. Some of us maybe should behave ourselves when we do it. See, it doesn't make any sense in the pencil version, but when we put color to things, you can tell. You can put in the pink of the tongue, right? The pink of the tongue. That's a name for a band. He's a serial scientist. That works too. All right, I think we've established the right amount of kookiness for him here. But let me let's get that turtleneck in and have him break out of the panel, because nothing says crazy like a person that can't be contained by a panel. Oh, see, I got the camera high enough you didn't get a flash of knee there. I'm wearing shorts today. It's warm in Canada. It hailed 2 days ago, but today it's warm. And it's pouring rain. Welcome to Canadian weather. All right, so let's put his. I think what if I'm looking at? I'm going to look at the other page. He's got a collar, and then we'll drop that shoulder and drop that line, and so we'll put a secondary line here in a second. But before I want to put his hand in here, because I like the idea of him talking with his hands. Publicly called for resolution that Corey Kerr appear on his live stream within the next 3 months. Hear, hear. Their winery is in Michigan, Villa Marie Vineyards. What if, when they're looking in the hole at Oak Island, what if they find bottles of wine? 60 acres of wine in the hole. No, I get it. That's in Michigan. Or Minnesota. I'm sorry. Oh, Michigan. Okay. Rachel agrees. Corey should be publishing some stuff in his live stream here. Get on your live stream, Corey. Jim is tired of sitting there rocking back and forth, crying like a cat at a screen door. Why? Yeah, the Artcasters last night was a lot of fun. It was what was really great is at one point Corey just completely acknowledges that Josh is completely derails Scott every time Scott tries to talk about part of this trip. And I think it has an awful lot to do with those of us in the comments. So it's not poor Josh that's at fault there, maybe, but Jim. I think it's me. I think it was me, not Jim. I think it was both of us. And Gary. Gary knows what he did. All right. You know, I'm going to change this hand up again. I do this a lot where I'll drop a finger off of a hand because I change my mind as I'm drawing the hand and I want to have more gesture in the hand, and so we'll switch the tail finger off and put the tail finger. My brain is working make good today. All right, so here's our guy. Carries his lines across here. All right, we'll clean that all up. All right, the CIA needs me. Catch y'all later. What? Jim's the mole? Okay. See you later, Jim. Have a great day. Yeah, Corey's flight backstory is absolutely horror show. I can't imagine going through all that and being as relatively grounded as he is. And then, of course, when he tells people, it's, he's trying to explain a horrible ordeal he went through to a bunch of corny yuck artists, and there was not an awful lot of. We're all sympathetic. We all feel terrible for what he went through, but we were just goofy last night. Rachel wants Paul to try drawing with his left hand without lifting the pen. So much easier when you have a tremor. Your tremor's in your right hand. Hey, want to see something fun? Watch this. Both predominantly right. Yay! You can always see it when I point. That's when mine reveals itself. Paul bailed, but he might watch this again. Look back for how many times I put the picture of the Polly up on the screen. So I got an open call. If anybody is at this point interested in participating in a stream, I think that might be some good fun. And in the spirit of the community here, I'm very open to that. So if anybody feels like to doing that, I don't have any moderation, so I don't have any moderation. So I'll have to figure it out in advance of the stream because I'm so bad at that. But I missed most of that, but I saw Josh cracking up. I'm so far behind. I think I'm first. All right, so this is so I'm going to do this drop line. So it's almost like the panel is pushing itself out of it's like a double panel almost when you do it like this. So but what it facilitates is the addition of more text, even though you've drawn this larger character and this with the crazy hair and taking up all this space of the panel. You've now freed up all of this volume here because you extended it over. So that's kind of fun, and that works pretty well. So another thing that I can do at this point is we can reveal. I'm just looking for a scientist. Just doing this. You know what? It's the best way to use your hands. Everybody loves it. All right, I'm just going to go with this. Okay, so Christopher won't bite. Rachel, are you saying that you want to join in on the stream and be in on that, or because you're more than welcome. I mean, we can set up a day to do it. That way I can put on my outfit and I can look really presentable. Practice my behavior. Yes. See, I can practice all those things in advance. All right, so now I'm going to push this even a little bit farther by get them crazy eyes in there. Christopher won't bite. Just bring Mr. Rogers. Rachel says, I do not show myself in the light of day. We could do the podcast at night. We can do it like a silhouette, like a light behind you, and we'll change your voice so it says, "Well, it's my first time doing a program here, and I really appreciate my anonymity." It'd be great. It'd be great. No one will know it's you. If I happen to accidentally trip and turn the light on during the show, that ain't my fault. Actually, that wouldn't work because the light would be on in your house or off in your house. A friend of mine, Sammy, she's lives here in London, and she's been doing quite a few zines and things like that. We've talked about her coming on the show, so I'm talking about her new book that she's released locally called My Big Fat Brain, or My Big Dumb Brain, I'm sorry. She's one of the people that is a regular at the London Comic Jam. So I thought we'd talk about comic jams, and I thought we'd talk about, what she's going through in her alternative journey in comic books. Yeah, you see, you could be anonymous, like Mike. Poor Mike. It takes me, I'm not good on keeping, aware of the nom de plumes that people use and things like that. And so Mike is, it took me forever to figure out what was anonymous. And we were having one conversation on one social platform, and then it just moved over to another one, and I didn't even realize it was him. I'm like, wait a minute. What in the world is this? It's Mike. No, because he's got a completely different name. All right, so I'm getting crafty. Huh? I'm getting crafty like ice is cold. All right, so I'm putting in a little more detail as the face gets a little bit larger. I'm going to have a little more value plonked in there. So but I wanted to get a good up close crazy expression as he presents the rocks. I have an idea. You come up with the ideas as you go through the early panel development, and it sort of allows your brain to take a moment and think about all the things that you could possibly be doing. So I've drawn this loose line in here because I've got this larger version of him in the foreground, and I'm going to have his hair and whatnot kicking in behind the other panels that are in the foreground. You know what we could do? We could do one of those digitized things in front of you, so that it could be anybody that's visiting but doesn't want to be on the stream. Well, no one will know it's you because we've got this 8-bit grid pattern in front of your face. I'm going to move the page up a little bit. That could work too, Or a mustache. Put a mustache on. I'll put one on too, so you don't feel silly. So I'm looking at the shape of the glasses, trying to keep some consistency with those. Standard shaped glass. Wait, you see my new glasses? I got rocket rims. Oh, So stylish and hip. All the kids are going to be wearing them in the next couple of years in the 50s. Ginkon. Is this a fancy ginkgo or the silver anniversary Japanese sake? Rachel says I already have a mouse yak and a mustache. Quit bragging, Rachel, just because I don't have one. Okay, so I'm following the line of the upper frame here, and I'm following the line of the lower frame here, and that's telling me the size of this lens on his glasses. That's the, in case anybody was wondering, that's how I do it anyways. I don't know how other people build up glasses on a character, but that's the way that I've always done it, is I follow those top and lower lines. And then I'll cut out part of the glasses for where the nose goes over. What are we at? 106. This one's, I pencil so much faster than everything else, and it tends to, I've really been learning a lot digitally for coloring and for layers and for putting things together, textures and stuff like that. So much so that it's sort of developing another sort of stylistic approach to how I'm going about pages. I'm really enjoying that. And, but it, you know, I'll never get away from drawing things traditionally because it's just so embedded in how I go about making things. You know, it's just fun as that's coming around. Dash at the museum years ago. You need to do an entire stream where you've got your overhead camera, but you need to set up a secondary camera like this just so that we can see you going the whole time you're working. I had to teach myself not to draw like this the whole time I was doing a stream before I did this. All I ask is to be buried in this with a Salvador mustache glued to my face. I have two cameras, I just don't set it up. Well, you don't normally wear a Salvador Dali mustache either. This would be a perfect opportunity to try both. Especially because you don't normally have the other camera set up. You're going to leave people guessing if you just do it the one time and then turn that camera back off again for the next stream. And they'll be like, is it because she's got that Salvador Dali mustache? Diddy's got a mustache like Salvador Dali. Diddy's got a mustache like Salvador Dali. I had no idea. Give him something to talk about at the old water cooler. Lost is over, you know. They've run out of conversation. I'll come on your stream with you, Didi, and I'll just sit there in front of the camera with the Salvador mustache on for you. And then, you know, you can say, I just put a photo of myself up, and you can't confuse the hell out of everybody. These are good ideas. All right, so just getting in this last ridiculous expression of ooh, and then I'm going to start drawing rocks for the rest of the page. We'll see. I know you could do the voiceovers, CR. You'd have to learn like giggle to learn to giggle like Dee Dee. Nobody can do that. It's like a very unique laugh. You know, it's like very authentically her. So it's like, and what would it sound like? You know, that just somebody tries to emulate another person's laugh. It sounds nice when they do it, and it just sounds like Creep Festival when the other person does. Is that like dilly-dallying? Just put that picture up, Dee Dee. Just put that up. They'll be like, what in the world? Lollygagging. Was it no dilly-dallying, lollygagging, or... It's all I can now do not to type in stupid numbers whenever Dee Dee goes to do her draws. It's all I can do. I got to sit on my hands to keep from typing in 101. I'm just joking. I can't decide on numbers that fast. And every time I'll type 11, somebody else got 11. Ugh! I'll try 14. Somebody else got 14. So one of my sons now works at Maple Leaf, the Maple Leaf plant here in London, where they prepare chicken and well, I think it's primarily a chicken place, but where they prepare all kinds of food that is sold in grocery stores and, you know, and everywhere else under the sun. But so he gets to buy stock, you know, or not stock. He gets to buy product from the company at a reduced rate, and you know, and it tends to come at the end of a shift. And so the other day, I'll respond to that in a second. The other day, he brought 45 pounds of chicken home on the bus. Now, my son's 6'4", but yeah, 5 pounds of chicken that kid's carrying on the bus. We didn't quite realize how much chicken that he lives down the street. My kids all tend to be close, right? But 45 pounds of chicken. So we've had chicken 3 times this week. All right, any newbies reading this dialogue must really wonder or realize they have finally found Planet Christopher. I like that. Oh, there it is. Don't dilly-dally, dawdle, or lollygag. Lollygagging. Buying stock takes on a whole new meaning. Yeah, sure does. He actually does the investing he does stock stuff on his own with his money, and he's pretty good at that jazz. Our kids are pretty dialed in for them. All right, so I'm just going to get the top of his turtleneck in here. And I realize that how silly some of this is, but that's kind of part of the fun, right? So the debate for me at this point now is whether or not I put another panel right here where he's pointing down going like these. And so he says, there's all kinds of different rocks. And then I have him go like those ones and point at some rocks below. Oh, you mean stocks? Well, why didn't you say? I don't know. I didn't realize you'd be taking stock in my sentence. Thank you very much. Okay, gotta run. Landscapers coming to lay a brick border and fix area where trees were removed. You're just gonna brick it all up, eh? No tree here, big pile of bricks. That sounds like fun. I hope you're gonna show photos. Awesome. Have a great day, Didi. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for the 3 prompts. Oh, okay. What are we at? 3:15. My daughter just sent me a text saying, I have acquired the children, because we're going to pick up the children and the oldest 2 grandkids. And have a good weekend, Didi. Thank you. Those have some maniacs over here at the house. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'll put another nutty pattern panel in here. I like... one of the fun things that I like to do with dialogue is, there's a whole push for everything to sound pithy and very, very stylistic and intelligent. And, well, of course, all the characters talk with, proper diction and stuff. I really like the idea of characters just being authentically individual in the sense that they'll say things like just odd, ridiculous little notions that might be either affectatious by dialect or affectatious by personality quirks, or just playing with breaking out of the norm. There's a few things more limiting that we can do when we have everybody just be this sort of stereotypical static. I think it's really important to put as much overemphasis on weird quirks of character and as short a space as we're presented with. And so I'm always trying to do that. I don't know how well it comes across. But I'll do things like I didn't show the husband's head on the page that I posted today when he says, honey, cat threw up on the floor, because that's everybody's husband now. That's every man in a household that's ever yelled at his wife about cat sick. And so little things like that establish this identifiable personality to a character that you insert as a viewer. And so I'm always trying to do that. So when I have an examination of a character, specifically over a number of panels on a page, I want to overemphasize everything with them and make them uniquely goofy or uniquely and just push and pull that throughout each of the panels. So that's why I like mad scientist characters, because they're a lot of fun for that. Rachel's impressed that I have a serial scientist. He's a scientist that eats cereal. So yeah, so the idea here is, as we move through the space here, I'm going to course the dialogue right through here, and then by angling it down through the space like this, if I can get the reader to follow back this way, and then have the dialogue circle here, and then because this is going to be all rocks, basically, just a whole big old pile of rocks. So then the last panel is going to be down here below, and that's the reaction panel for whoever it is that he's talking to about rocks. And you can just imagine how impressed they're going to be. Now, the second consideration to that is if I do 2 panels, if I do a wide panel similar in size to here, right here, about the responsiveness to it, that allows me to have a final panel of him going, science! right? Which is what I really want to do. Let's be honest. So imperfection is so underrated. Yeah, that's exactly true. You know what, Rachel? You're going to get a Polly for you. Just got a Polly for that. You got a Polly. I've awarded a Polly today, everybody. No longer doing stereotypical. Now on to MP and digital. There's my mother bought these albums when she was a kid. They're called Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music, Volumes 1 and Volume 2. It's 2 records. It's Ray Charles, but Modern Sounds of Country and Western Music. And on the back of both of them, it has this little logo, and it says recorded in stereophonic sound. It's like, what the hell is stereophonic sound? The pick of Polly reminds me of the Toronto Sun sunshine. Oh, look at that. Look what you just did, Kat. That's a great sentence. You got a Polly, too. That's 2 Pollys back to back. Look out. Yeah, they made 2 volumes of that. 2 volumes of Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music. And, yeah, there was a man on a house sleeping. It was like it got nothing to do with, Johnny Cash or Waylon Jennings. It's just very... But, they're from the early 50s. So it's a young Ray. So, yeah, so that's my plan. That's how I'm going to finish up and break down the rest of this page. And in that way, it will be, there's a sort of a fun flow of information through the page itself. And I likes that. I like it. And then I'll do the smaller panel here at the end. This is the ruler that I swear by for, I think this is the greatest ruler ever invented for doing comics with, because it naturally squares all of your lines, and that's super cool and fun. Look out, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mr. Gary Hodges. How you doing, Gary? In fact, at this point, I have now got CD versions of Modern Sounds of Country and Western Music by Ray Charles, 1 and 2. And now I've got the Spotify list of those albums as well, just because I really, really enjoy those albums. But, yeah, Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music. So I'll have to show you next time. I'll show you on the, maybe I can show you now. Sorry, answering my daughter. There you go. Now, let me see if I can find it. There it is. Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music. Volumes 1 and 2. Oh, okay, there's my daughter. Good. No. You go away. This is what I want to see. Yeah, so this is the 2 albums. They're fantastic, but there's no country and western music in those. It's soul. It's all soul and rhythm and blues. But they didn't know what to call it yet, so that's what they called it. It's from music from in country, I guess. But it's funny to think that Ray Charles did country and western albums, right? Yeah. All right. Well, Gary, it's good to see you. Yeah, please, Rachel, look him up. It's here. I'm going to give you a quick snippet of the very first song. That's country and western. Yep. I love those albums. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to those over the years. Because you got "There Goes My Baby," and I've seen a video of some of him performing some of these songs. Mind you, years later, but and he still hits it the exact same way. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, there's in my mind the two best Ray Charles albums. I've a number of Ray Charles albums, but those are my two favorites. And you know, it's got No Letter Today. It's got all kinds of really cool songs on it. But all right, it's 1:25. I pushed a little too far yesterday, going long when I wasn't really up to it. I'm going to be smart today. All right, so we got the structure of it laid out. Our suggestion for today's page is: scientists will try to convince people that rocks are interesting in 500 years' time. So that's what we're going for here. And, you know, we'll see how it plays out as we go through with the finishes and stuff like that. But it's been a lot of fun doing these pages this week, and I appreciate everybody's understanding about not doing I think it was Wednesday stream. But we're back now, ladies and gentlemen, and I might do a stream maybe tomorrow morning with Lily, opening the envelopes for the stamp swap that was run through Dee Dee's stream. And we might do a little stream together doing some stuff. So otherwise, I'll be posting this tomorrow. This is page 105. 105? Cool. Okay. Yeah, 105, one page since the start of the year. And yeah, it's good feelings. All right, I'm out for now. I hope everybody has a good weekend. I'll try to put up a notice about when we're going to do a little stream with Lily. But if we're going to get a chance to do that, in the meantime, if I don't see you, everybody have a wonderful weekend and behave yourselves out there. Take care, Kat. Take care, Rachel. Take care, Gary. Take care, Philip. Anybody else that might still be here? Dee Dee. Jim, we're here. Anybody else I missed, I apologize. But it's been a lot of fun today. On the hashtags and confused us. Excellent. Bye for now, gang.